It's LindaLee, and I'm doing some distressing to the Floral Motivational Journal that I've been working on. And I just kind of wanted to show you again where I'm at and how I'm doing it. This is pretty much what my goal is for the pages themselves, to distress them kind of in this way. I have a vintage photo around the edges. I've done some script stamping with this old French writing stamp. I got this, I believe, from Michael's. The ink that I'm using is a Ranger ink, Cocoa. This is my favorite one for the script stamping. It's a little bit different color from the other distress inks that I use on the borders. So I kind of like the little contrast where everything's not the same color. And then I'm script stamping, or excuse me, stenciling as well. This stamp, or stencil, holy moly, this stencil is called Waverly. If you can see that, Waverly Inspirations. And then I'm just using a nice soft brush. I was using these little stamper things, but I really damaged my stencil in doing so. So I got to really be careful with different little bits of it. But this I got from Kelly Snow's Etsy store, BygonesVarietyShop, and it's kind of saved the stencil where I thought I was going to either have to get another one or just plain stop using it. But anyway, this is what I'm doing, and the ink I'm using on this is called Victorian Velvet. So this is what I'm going to do to all of the treatment pages. So I only have this script and stenciled. I'm having troubles with those words today. This is the only piece that I have all that done to. I do have the script stamping on majority of these pages. There's a couple that I found that I've missed, but now I just am going to fill in some areas with stenciling. So I don't like to put too much on the pages in too dark of an ink. So you'll notice that a lot of this is done a little lighter, so that whoever receives this isn't discouraged from writing over top of it. Well, they could just write around it, I guess, if they wanted to be a little creative with what they're writing or how they're writing. But I want them to feel comfortable just writing right over top with either like a black or a blue ink or whatever color they really want to use. But that's what I'm doing. So I won't do anything to like this type of page, but this page I definitely will. I haven't been doing anything to the green. It's already coffee treated, so there's the brightness is kind of toned down a little bit, and there's a little bit of watermark. And like this page I won't do anything to either. So I'm going to probably knock down the brightness. I'm going to distress around the edge. So the little white border that is on my pages, I think I'm going to use it because it is on most every page that I did a photocopy with. So being that it's that consistent, I think I'm going to leave it there. Look, remember how I said the ink kind of bled through when I was doing the coffee treatment? Isn't that awesome? So it's already really distressed. I won't do any stenciling on that type of page. So, but I will stencil. Like this right here is the middle of my signature so far. I'm probably going to do something a little more colorful, maybe with an envelope. I haven't decided just yet, but that's what the signatures kind of look like. I did finish the pockets. So on the signature covers, I'm going to either have pockets, so I'm going to sew them in. I actually kind of played with the thought of not sewing them and not doing any sewing at all, just keeping it straight up paper, without adding any extra fabrics, and doing, some little decorating and collaging, in the corners, putting like a coffee stain paper behind, and then my decorations. I don't know for sure. I haven't really decided 100%. Mainly because I don't know how I'm going to do the cover yet. Once I decide on the cover, I think I'll have a better direction with some of the other stuff. But then I've got the pockets, and I also have tuck spots. So side tucks to go on some of these as well. So I'm going to put on the inside cover, I'm also not going to cover this. I did do some coffee treatment on it, but it dried so light that I'll probably do it again. I'm going to glue down some muslin down the middle. So again, you know, I've been playing with either paper or paper with fabric. So I'm kind of leaning a little more towards the fabric again, because I do want to put down, I have a 2-inch strip of natural colored muslin that I'm going to put down the strip. And then probably individually sew this and then glue it in. And then do the script and the stenciling on the inside cover too. So that's kind of where I'm at. So I guess, well, let's just do some of it so that you can kind of see. What else? I did have, where's the little piece of film? Remember the film project that we did in group? So this here is the pink film. So instead of it being, you know, a darker piece with photographs on it, I did it pink because this journal is predominantly floral and pink. So this is kind of what I came up with. I found a water lily painting in my Monet book that was still intact, that I cut down into little pictures. So I have like a little vacation piece of film with the Monet pictures. And I also put, you know, the description of the painting on the back, just so, you know, the recipient knows where that came from. But the painting was originally done in 1889. Isn't that cool? So I'll more than likely make a tag out of it with, you know, some ribbon. Maybe I'll weave some ribbon or lace. I haven't decided yet. But I'm going to pull a bunch of ribbons in because I got some great seam bindings. And I matched the seam bindings up to this card with Kelly's help. And so, yeah. We're going to pull in some more color. A little bit more of the purples and the deeper greens because we got pink, that's for sure. Which is really what I wanted. So, yay! Everything's happening the way I want it to. The script stamping, I did do that signature too. I haven't done, I don't think, any on this one. So let's do a little bit of script stamping and then we'll do some stenciling as well. I won't do any of that on here. I'm going to leave that kind of just as is. We're going to maybe do some decorating with the ribbons. Actually, I could probably do a little bit of the stenciling. Let's do that right now while I have it in my hand. So with these soft brushes, it's really, really nice on the paper that you're using it. It gives you a nice soft, see how nice and soft that is without using that heavier sponge and the pressure that you need, because what happens is when you pick up little pieces on the corners, you know, of the stencil itself, it'll lift them and then it'll take away from, you know, its stability, and then you have all kinds of different troubles. I actually, this is my second stencil like this one because I just definitely ruined the other one that I had. But now, let's see. I love this right here. It works so well. So there we go. a little bit of stenciling. Do a little bit on the side maybe. There we go. Nice and light. So they all tie in together. I haven't decided whether I'm going to do a second slide or not. I definitely have, you know, the base for it put together, but I don't know. We change our minds so frequently. At least I do. I just keep going until, you know, I have a question, then I stop and I do something else until I answer that question. But I wanted to show you, I know there's a lot of videos out there about the script stamping, but just show you how I'm doing it since you're following my videos. So I'm just inking the stamp and then basically just kind of touching and touching and touching, and it changed direction. So see, keeping it primarily around the edges so that the middle isn't too obscured, like I said, just in case the person who receives it doesn't want to write over the stamping part. And then I'll put some stenciling in there too. So actually, let's just we'll do the whole thing right here. So, and I like the randomness of just doing pieces of the stencil instead of doing it, you know, kind of the way it's been cut and designed. See how easy that is? Keep it nice and light. Some spots are a little heavier than others, but all of it is pretty gentle on the stencil itself because of this soft little applicator. And let's go here. And I just use random different parts of it. And then I also have a screen that on some of the inside pages I'm going to probably use. I'll show you that too. See this here where I've damaged it before? Keeps kind of popping up, so I have to be careful and hold that. But I like the little kind of ghosty images in the back. Isn't that cool? So you don't even have to use all that much ink. You know, as you can see, I just kind of inked it. And I'm pretty much doing this whole thing without really putting more ink on. Alright, so I think that's done, unless I decide to do something more to it a little later. Let me put a little script stamp right here, I think. Well, the ink dried out enough that it didn't pick it up. So, I'll just let it be. And then, I was just going to show you something. What was it? Oh, the screen. Let me do this real quick. So, my box, I have a piece of screen in here. And with the flowers that I'm going to be putting on some of the pages, the die cuts, let's pull, this one is the green one. I just want to show it to you real quick. In fact, without really having everything that I want put together for it, let's just do it on this book page. So, this here is a piece of window screen. So you can see. And then I'll do it probably a little more extensively, but then put my little die cuts in front of it on coffee dyed paper that I'm going to put on top of the other paper. So it's going to be layered up a little bit. But isn't this cute? I love it. It's nice and subtle. I just have to play with it a little bit so that I don't get too much, you know, like a circle. What really happens when that happens is there's too much ink. So this is kind of a little bit more of what I'll be going for. So that's something to keep in mind while I'm doing it. But that's why you get the circles. Even when you're distressing on the edges, sometimes there's just too much ink on there for the way you're distressing. And it'll leave, you know, the circle shape or lines. So, but yeah, I'm going to be using this, or excuse me, this on some of the individual pages as well. So, I'm just going to keep on doing it. I wanted to kind of show you guys how I'm doing it and what I'm using so that it kind of answers those questions, again, for those of you who are kind of following me. But that's all I'm going to do. Probably once I get the whole book done with the distressing part of it, we'll come back together and do a little of the page decorating. So I'll talk to you again soon. Alrighty? Be safe. Enjoy.